What's going on, guys? Arix here. We're back with another discussion, and today I'm joined by the team to talk about Pokemon because, of course, it is kind of the alignment of anniversaries. Last year was Mario 35th, this year is Zelda 35th, and it is the Pokemon 25th. And the reason I want to talk about that is if you guys caught the recent announcements, we got not one, but two Pokemon announcements. Diamond and Pearl remake or remaster or re-envisioning, however you want to describe it, and of course Pokemon Breath of the Wild Edition, Legends Arceus. They both look really cool in their own ways. Fantastic to see us return as Diamond and Pearl with that visual style. So today we're going to talk about all those different things. Everyone here is, Pokemon fans in varying degrees, whether it be collecting cards, whether it be shiny collectors, whether it be loving the games. Basically, we all just like Pokemon, so we're going to talk about it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, let us know. What do you guys think about the announcements down below? Which one are you more hyped about? But we're going to start by talking about Diamond and Pearl. Brilliant Diamond and what was the other one? Perfect Pearl, Fantastic Pearl. Shining Pearl,
something
whatever
like that,
it is. One of those. Yeah. Basically, I'm super excited for that. My camera's gone blurry, but whatever. I'm super excited for that. I love the sort of top-down style, but I'll talk more specifically about my opinions on it in a little bit. Paradise, I'm going to throw it to you first, because you're the shiny collector amidst all of us. So what do you think about Diamond and Pearl?
So I've seen varying comments from people. Some people super excited to go back to Sinnoh. Some people like, oh, that wasn't the remake that I wanted, or oh, they've changed the style. But for me, like, Diamond and Pearl is like this huge nostalgia game, and I think for other people it will be as well, because it had like loads of new features for like added into it on the Nintendo DS. So like for me, back in school, which was when Diamond and Pearl released, like I was at home on my DS, like voice chatting to my friends through the DS, like while we're battling or trading. They also had the trade system, which was the global trade network or something like that, where you could just trade with other players, and you could never do that before without actually like wiring up your Game Boy to someone else. And so it was like the first like online Pokemon game where you could actually do those things, and that's just like huge for Pokemon. You know, you want to battle other players, you want to trade to fill out your Pokedex or get the exclusives, you know, that were in Diamond or that were in Pearl if you had the other game. So like those features were like so iconic, like for me in my playthrough of like all the Pokemon games when I like retrospectively look back. And then it was of course like Gen 4, like there's loads of cool Pokemon in Gen 4. And the legendaries being like two of the trio of creation, which is like this big thing to do with like controlling like space and time and dimensions within like the Pokemon like lore, if you like. And then on top of that, it was the first of the Pokemon games that like expanded on the day-night cycle. It changed the like attack system. I think before Diamond it was you just had like physical and status, and then Diamond added in physical, special damage and status, and then that made that extra depth into like how you spec out your Pokemon and what stats you go for. Because of course, like now if you're building like a special attack Pokemon, you don't want any like physical stats on there. So it like just adds in that depth into like training up your Pokemon. And like thinking back on the DS, it had like all those like touchscreen features with like the smartwatch, and you could check like the time and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So
used to like watch my steps and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So like Diamond and Pearl, like I am nostalgia blinded by it because it's one of my favorite games going back. Just because of all those new features and just the fun I had on it. But I am, like, for that reason, I'm really excited to go back into it. And I quite liked the look of the change. Like, it is quite a different... It's not like they just, you know, made it a little less pixely. They've completely gone for the chibi kind of style, you know?
Which, well, I think that works really well, because just to kind of just touch back on what I was saying at the beginning, like I've always been more of a fan of the sort of top-down look for Pokemon. I don't personally like what they've kind of done in like Sword and Shield with these sort of, you know, slightly more, I guess, humanoid-shaped sprites with the kind of big heads. I don't know. I just don't like them. Like I like seeing the top-down look for Pokemon. So to see this kind of go back, it almost makes me think of sort of Link's Awakening remaster. I wouldn't, not quite as refined because it doesn't have that sort of toy aesthetic. I mean, Pokemon in the Link's Awakening style would look fantastic. By the way,
amazing.
You need to be listening, Nintendo, Game Freak. But yeah, no, I'm loving that style. But 26, just to throw to you because you're kind of you're more of a sort of Pokemon purist. You're more like red and blue. That's still me. So where are you on this one?
I don't know. I would just wait to listen to you guys talk about these games, really. And it's kind of funny discussions in this way. Like, I knew nothing about Diamond and Pearl, and like that just goes to show you how informative. You basically asked Paradise, "What do you think of Diamond and Pearl?" And Paradise was like, "Let me Wikipedia page this whole thing. I know all about Diamond and Pearl now, guys.
Yeah.
I know that it had like some features in it. It was great, man. I know about the creatures of creation, but for me, yeah, I think it looks decent. I just feel like Pokemon games have been quite same-ish for me, and it's not necessarily a type of game that I would go back to after playing Red and Blue. But I've always wanted to get into, like, I've had a strong attachment to Pokemon. But every time I pick up a game, I've bought every single one. So I bought every single one, but I only play it for like the first 10 minutes, and I'm just like, yeah. And I know I should give it more of a chance, but I feel like where I really like Pokemon is like collecting the cards, like watching the anime and experiencing it in like different ways outside of the actual games now. So I really like the trading card games, and I really like everything else that isn't the traditional games because they haven't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I really want to play them. But
Can I jump in, because your Pokemon experience is the complete opposite to mine, which is just interesting how we all enjoy them differently. Like the first 10 minutes, hour of the game for me is like the most fun of any new Pokemon game, because it's like you got your new starters, you're leveling up like really quickly, you're getting new moves, you're like scrambling to collect like those rubbish like starting grass Pokemon that you usually have, and like that's like the funnest part for me is like the new experience of the game. So it's just interesting that we enjoy it differently, because every Pokemon game is quite different in some ways with the Pokemon.
I think I would enjoy like the end game stuff, like mostly like the EV and stuff like that. But I've never touched it. I don't even know what it is like to that extent. But I've just never been able to play through the rest of the game because like after I do the first like gym leader, it's like the kind of cycle continues. It's like, oh, go to this next town, grab some more Pokemon, fight a gym leader again, and I'm just like, it kind of feels repetitive to me in that way, but I understand why people like super enjoy it. But like after me playing like Red and Blue, I feel like I've already done that, but I understand why people want to hunt them shinies, get those Pokemon and do it and just like completely love the games. But like this is not for me in that way. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Well, that might also be where like the new one comes in, which obviously we'll chat on in a minute. But like Vess, what about you? Like where are you on the Diamond and Pearl front?
Honestly, I stopped playing Pokemon when Diamond and Pearl came out. Not because of like any reason. Like my brother used to be the one who would buy the games, so he stopped buying them. He kind of grew out of Pokemon at that point. But what's it called? Yeah, like I have never really. I'll be honest. Like I've never. It's like Diamond and Pearl specifically. I don't know why. Maybe it's me being hipster or something. But that game, I've always thought, why does anyone like this one? Like, I know nothing about it, right? I'm going to be honest with you. But like Dialga and Palkia, like they've got really cool lore. I hope I said those names correctly. But what's it called? I just never, like their design for me just never like resonated. Like just compared to, like the old standbys, like shout out to obviously the free birds legendaries, the dog legendaries, man, like Ho-Oh and Lugia, like those guys were like my dons, right? So I don't know, just like those two just didn't they felt. I feel like Diamond and Pearl was the start of new Pokemon, if that makes sense. Like I feel like what was the ones before, Ruby and Sapphire, those are my two favorite Pokemons, just for the record. That was like the end of like the old era for me.
No, that's fair.
And yeah, just essentially, again, like nothing wrong with them. I did play a little bit of Pokemon Black. I played probably through like halfway through that, and it was a really good experience. I was like, wow, Pokemon's come so far. And I'm sure like Sun and Moon and X and Y, now Sword and Shield, is just absolutely amazing. It'll probably blow me away, but I've just not felt the urge to be kind of pulled into it. Much like 2-6, I really love the auxiliary stuff, the sort of like side stuff, more so the games for me. Like growing up, I used to love Pokemon Colosseum.
Was it
Pokemon
Stadium?
XD, Gate of Darkness. Pokemon Stadium was really good. Colosseum was a different game. Like Stadium was N64, Colosseum was GameCube.
Which was the one where you just like rocked it out in like Stadium?
That was
like,
Stadium.
That was Stadium. Okay,
and that also had mini games as well.
I
That was
loved
really
it.
good.
That was sick.
Yeah, for sure. Colosseum was kind of like an extension on that, in that you could rock it out, but you also
Could roam around in
it had like a whole story to it.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
Like basically, so yeah, like I absolutely love those kind of games, like Pokemon Channel, where you had like a little Pikachu that you had to like. It was like a Tamagotchi basically. basically. You take them to the park, you take them here and there, you'd feed them, you do whatever. Like, it was really, really cool. Like, Pokemon to me has always been about those kind of side games, like, or after those initial like three gens.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean,
But-
definitely makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think just to kind of echo that, sort of, there is that one degree, like, you know, I've played every single like main series game anyway, like, so, you know, I do still enjoy them, but I do definitely, it's kind of what you touched on with like the legendaries. I feel like progressively with every new one, I feel, I mean, no disrespect to the Pokemon Company, but I almost feel like the Pokemon designs have got less and less like when I think back to Red and Blue, think to Gold and Silver, think to Ruby and Sapphire. Every time I encounter something new in the wild, I was like, I need to catch this. When I tell you, my current Pokemon experience is, this guy looks rubbish, I'm not going to catch him. Like, I don't even catch all the Pokemon. I just catch what I want now.
I feel like
so that kind of.
I feel like that's true with like
sick new Pokemon though, right?
There's sick new
there's
ones.
some.
Like
There's some.
there's like an ice cream Pokemon. There's like a Pokemon
no, but see,
that's like literally
where I draw the
an
line.
anchor, like in the
That's
new
where I draw the
series,
line, right?
in the newest ones.
I'm
yeah,
like-
but in Diamond
Yeah.
and Pearl, we weren't quite there to like. Alcremie wasn't a thing in Diamond and Pearl, right?
Yeah, that I'm sorry, right? I apologize if you're an Alcremie fan, right? But it bothers me when my Pokemon is a washing machine or an ice cream cone or
Rotom.
like
Rotom
or a vacuum
Rotom.
cleaner. I'm like my Pokemon used to look like they could level a building.
Well,
destroy
Rotom's
the
kind of
earth.
cool though because he's got all the different forms and
No,
stuff.
he is right. We're being pedantic. The point I'm getting at, right, is that like I want my Pokemon to look like they could star in a Godzilla movie, not be like I'm gonna go to a cafe and order one Alcremie with a side of like Rotom. Like no, that's not me. That was so there's definitely.
Just like overlooking Magnemite and all the like and all these other old Pokemon that were in like the first gen that just didn't look like normal animals.
No, but you know what? I think
they're
it's because
fine,
in the
though.
first gen they were there, but then also because that was sort of like that was basically you could overlook it initially because they were brand new, but like once you've gone through so many permutations of this guy is a doormat,
I
this
just
guy
think
is
I
like-
just think you're. I just think Arix is a Pokemon hater. You know.
Snob,
Oh.
absolute snob.
There
listen,
are some
right?
gems. There are, like, just for everybody in the. I know there's going to be a lot of maybe angry people. There are some gems from the new generations. Shout out to my boy Greninja. Like, he's sick.
Yeah,
Like,
true,
absolutely
true,
love
true,
Greninja. In Cinnamorosa, the ones that are in Smash, basically, are sick. Like, the
Mimikyu's sick,
CGI as
like-
well.
Yeah,
Looks pretty
Mimikyu.
cool.
What's it called?
Although I
Dragon
will
Bolt?
say,
Is that how you
I
say
will
his name?
say,
From the new ones?
one
It's
of
cool.
my all-time favorite Pokemon is from one of the newer games. That's Galissapod because he looks like a bad man. He looks like he literally
Galissapod.
could. He looks like Shredder. He is like armor plated, the bug with like the claws. He will wreck. He's one of my favorites. I
Yo,
love
okay, yeah, he looks sick. That's a really cool design.
He's
Yeah.
meaty. But anyway, right. We spoke about Diamond
Grookey,
and
though
Pearl.
as well.
Grookey.
The starter.
doesn't even
like,
remember
the
who
he doesn't
Grokey
even know
is.
the starters.
He doesn't
Oh,
even
yeah,
know
God.
who Grookey is. I don't even play the
chill.
games.
You know what? The new starters aren't even that. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
let's move on to talk about Legends Arceus because I feel like this is going to be
Yeah.
there because I feel
Shout
like
out to Sobble over there, innit? Crying about that.
Sobble gang, let's go.
get out of here. No, but I feel like this,
So-
especially kind of speaking to like what like 2-6 and Invest said, sort of like enjoying the auxiliary experiences. I feel like Legends Arceus is quite interesting because you know it's taken that open world approach. Now, from everything we've seen from the gameplay so far, it's all like spliced up gameplay, so we don't really kind of get a cohesive understanding of like how it's going to play. Like, why do I need to combat roll in a Pokemon game? I'm not going to question. I like rolling, so it's cool.
You need to combat
but
roll in a Pokemon game because there's sometimes you'll be caught out in the open world without any Pokemon, and if you die, you get it restarts.
Imagine just getting bodied
Maybe
by
it's
like a
Dark
a
Souls,
Blaziken
a
just
Pokemon
comes out with
experience.
knees.
Yeah, if you don't have a Pokemon,
Like-
you still need to fight. Like so.
Trying to kill you, like it's like, oh my god.
And maybe they haven't revealed that it's the Dark Souls experience, and if you
Yeah.
die, you lose all your. It's like
maybe.
what's it called? Nuzlocke challenge, but just like permanently the game.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
but
you drop all your Pokeballs, isn't it?
imagine.
I think.
But yeah,
they-
let's. I'll throw it to you. Oh, go on.
I think they showed so little in that trailer because
They did.
this is where my mind was going when I was watching the trailer. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, there are some big Pokemon. Like some of these legendaries
yeah.
are
Huge.
colossal huge. So, is there gonna be huge Pokemon that you're either trying to capture with like lobbing a little Pokeball at it,
small-
or battling
Gigantamax, like-
exactly. Like imagine you just roll up on a freaking mountain and it's a Pokemon, because like some of them are that big. Or like a Snorlax is huge. He's not mountain huge, but he's still big. What does that look like when you walk up to Snorlax? You know,
Chunky Pikachu, like.
Kyogre is. Like,
and
do
then
you guys
on
remember-
top of that, just before I
Kyogre?
forget, sorry, Beth.
Oh yeah.
No, go for it.
Remember the HM moves? Are we going to be able to fly? Are we going to be able to surf?
Ooh,
Can we
yeah.
be chopping? Can we use cut to chop down grass and trees? This sort of stuff. So they showed so little, and they literally just showed like the bare basics that there's going to be some kind of turn-based looking combat. It looked like, and you throw the Pokeballs. That's basically what they showed, right? But what about all, like the potential that it could be? You know, with all of the crazy stuff you could do, giant Pokemon, like that's what I want to know. You know, how far are they going with this game? Is it just a walking simulator where you catch Pokemon and battle every now and then, or can you actually do cool stuff? You know,
Game Freak out here coming for Temtem's neck, innit? They're like, nah, not on my watch, buddy.
True.
No, no,
They'll be like, let me
if
show
they
you
made it
how it's
MMO
done.
and had all the MMO features on it, I'll just be I'll
That'd
be
be
so
sick.
excited. But yeah,
Well,
this is something
do that
we-
anytime soon.
yeah, we've talked about that on stream a lot. Like, why have Pokemon like not officially just
Yeah.
made Pokemon the MMO? Like, everyone wants it, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
an
no,
actual
no,
MMO.
literally,
It's
No,
actually
so
Pokemon.
I'm not
much
going to say
money.
that. That's a brave statement. There's going to be someone out there who's like, I only like to play my games single player.
Yeah, but they're not going to stop doing the single player games. You know, there's such a huge fan base. If they were to make an MMO, it would be in addition to it. So I don't know why they haven't done it yet. It's just confusing. Right?
Wouldn't that be
But
better
it's-
for them, because they wouldn't need to release a new game every year? They can just release
They
like,
just add to it, right?
WoW expansion or type thing where there's like a content drop, kind of like Final Fantasy
here's-
14.
Yeah, I was literally about to say. Here's the thing: like, Square is killing it with Final Fantasy 14. Like, that's making them bags. Like, and they're still making like really good single player experiences, right? Like, I feel like a lot more companies should learn from that example. If it's a hard thing to do, right? Live service and that, but just making like a decent, like, good MMO with your IP. Giving the fans what they want through that, and just releasing expansions alongside having a thing is shown to be quite successful. So. As long as it doesn't, start out like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, because imagine if you walk down the street and you actually we walk past each other, it's like your eyes meet, you're like, we've got a battle now. Like that's
That would be
what
funny.
Your eyes meet, yeah? What kind of
that's how it
what's
happens in
that you
Pokemon.
on,
That's
isn't it?
how-
he's
What
doing
is
a
this,
Pokemon
romance
pun.
in the battles, isn't it? Like,
That's the Pokemon romance. No, but that's how it works in
That's how
Pokemon. It's like,
battles
I've seen you. So you end up having to like walk around and be like, I'm not looking at you. I don't want to battle. I'm not ready. I
Well-
need to run back to the town.
Well, that's a rip-off, innit? Because it was like, even if you were like not facing them, they'd be like, "Hey, bruv," like they just walk up to you. They'd stop
They got
you,
some
innit?
like spider sense. They're like, I can
Yep.
smell you from behind me. Like, oh no. Yeah, that was no, but it's interesting. We definitely need to see more. It's obviously far too early. I know there were like some concept sort of scan images of like what looked like, to kind of your point, Paradise, about like the HMs. There was like a silhouette character of like a human walking up a mountain.
Oh wow.
Which I think was maybe that's sort of how they'll do, like, some of these HMs, like, you might be able to climb stuff and things like that. So it could be
Maybe.
it could be interesting. But I'm always like down for like new experiences. Whether it ends up just being one of those sort of spin-off titles that like they do once and then people are like, I still prefer the traditional thing. Will of course remain to be seen. But I'm cautiously interested. I don't know enough to say that I'm like, I'm hyped for this just yet. But it's cool. It looks
alright,
cool.
you know what we need to raise?
Yeah.
We need to raise like the point of the visuals, because I know if someone will be annoyed if we
Yeah.
don't say it. So
Right.
I'm not, I don't know if I'm gonna play the game
it's
or
true,
not. I'm,
though.
I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm probably not gonna play it, but it looks interesting. So
It does.
yeah, people were saying that. Well, for me personally, I think it looks like pretty barren. I think it looks good when
I
you
agree.
look at it
It
on a
looks
small
very
screen, or you look at it like shrink down. The game looks beautiful. Like for a handheld game,
Yeah.
it looks like gorgeous. But the background, compared to like other even the 2D Pokemon games, it looks kind of barren in the background. It doesn't look like there's much going on. It's just like, maybe it's just them showing off like what they wanted for the video. I don't think it did the best job of making the game look like, I don't know, like mind blowing, if you get what
No,
I'm saying.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But in
always
terms
been...
of the visuals, I think it looks decent and it looks very like good. So for a Pokemon game, it's like
It's really nice. Like the models look great, cell shaded, right? Like at the end of the day, like it's a winner.
I think that graphics is a problem for Pokemon, and it has been even for Sword and Shield, and even for Let's Go Eevee. Like, so the last few Pokemon games, the graphics have been an issue where they're trying to push it further than previously. The Switch
they
obviously
haven't
can
nailed it
only
down.
go so far. Like, everyone knows that, but there's been a lot of outrage from like the lack of animated attacks in the last Pokemon games, the lack of like just graphical fidelity, like certain trees and things in Sword and Shield just looking really bad. And then, like you say, if you watch the trailer for like the new Pokemon's Legends Arceus on your mobile, it might look really good because it's like shrunk down on your mobile screen. But when you open it like on your TV or on your like 4K monitor, it looks barren. It looks pretty graphically bad. But it is a Switch. There is limitations. But do you think Breath of the Wild looked a bit better than Pokemon did?
Yeah, it
Like,
definitely does. It definitely
Breath
does.
of the Wild
You know
looks
what it is?
incredible.
You know what it is? It's just that like they just can't afford it. The Pokemon company's broke, and they just like literally just can't afford to do that type of
What do
stuff.
you mean? They're selling cards like
There's-
nobody's
that's-
business. They're
No,
just
no,
like,
Alex, they don't make any money. Come on.
no, they're out there just
They're a
selling their
small indie
Charizards.
There's more indie developer. Like
more indie
they don't have the
developer.
I will
expertise
say-
there to ask the Nintendo, like the Zelda team, what's going on and how they achieved that. But like, yeah, it's okay.
True. I will say I am like obviously it wasn't like super present throughout, but I am digging the kind of like Japanese aesthetic. There's like a,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that was-
Japanese
yeah. The
aesthetic.
theme of
There
it
was
is
like a
always very
castle.
good.
Yeah, there was like a kind of Japanese castle town kind of looking thing with like the walls kind of remind me of Ghost of Tsushima, you know, and then there was obviously the ink sort of like what would you call it, illustrations, I suppose, and stuff like that. So that to me speaks to maybe like maybe this region is like more traditional kind of Japanese.
Yeah.
That could be really cool. Like I like the idea of
It
that.
is Pokemon Monster Hunter Rise of the Wild.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't that funny that like a lot of I don't know if it's a lot, but like you know, you got Rise like, after Tsushima, like Rise.
Yeah,
and you got this
Tsushima.
Pokemon game, like Japan is in. Traditional Japan
it's
is
in.
Like,
It's in.
Has
I'm
anyone
happy
been watching
about
like the Netflix documentary? Like, there's some.
Oh, it's
No,
so
it's on my- it's on
sick.
my
Age
watch
of the
list.
Samurai.
Samurai
What's it?
one.
Is it called Age of the Samurai? Is that it?
Yeah, it looks
It's
sick.
so
Yeah, it's on my
good.
watch list for the weekend.
Yo, there's so much.
that
It's
sounds
stressful though. There's the drama back then. Oh my god.
yeah,
I've been-
you get
I've
cut
been-
up.
I've been playing out the saga because I've been playing Neo 2, and some of those guys are showing up in Neo 2, mate. It's been
That's really
emotional.
cool.
Yeah.
So I do have
what-
just to say, I do have a real big concern with
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, you know, they're going for that open world. You know, the planes are out there, the Pokemon are populating the world, but considering like how it graphically looks and the fact that it is on Switch, are there going to be just Pokemon popping in all around you, and then in the distance everything just looks like barren, you know? Or are they going to be able to actually populate that world like in a good enough way that you don't like break immersion every time a Pokemon spawns in front of you? Because like there are areas where there's going to be dense amount of Pokemons, I'm guessing, because there's Pokemon hives and things like that, you know? So
Hopefully.
I'm quite worried,
be
you know?
interesting.
I'm quite worried.
Because I do agree though. Because one of the things you know, it happens like Breath of the Wild or any open world game is like if you're going to go open world, one of the things you want is to be able to see into the distance because that kind of gives you that sort of sense of wonderment. Like, oh, I want to go and explore there. Whereas if you can't see more than like 2 meters in front of you, the whole like need to go open world is kind of
Exactly. Like I want to see
removed.
Pidgeots flying in the distance. You know, I don't stuff like that. You know, I want to see Pokemon up in trees. I
I
want to
don't
see.
ever want to see Pidgeot flying this. I want to see. You think I'm going to go off my way to go catch a Pidgeot? Come on, man.
Pidgeot,
Make it something exciting.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
Bro,
No.
that's the
man,
OG.
come on.
That's the
No.
OG flyer. What
Exactly.
He's a
No.
Pokemon Snob.
That's the guy.
No.
He could, but let's be honest.
It's not Zelda. He doesn't love it.
Okay.
He doesn't love it. Yeah.
What Pokemon
No, but you
would you
could've-
catch then, Alex? Come on, give us a list.
No, what I'm saying is, right, if you're going to describe, like, an amazing situation, like, I'm walking down the road, right, I'm going somewhere, I need to go off my path, and you're like, I'm going to go out of my way for a Pidgeot. No, I will go out of my way for a Zapdos or an Articuno, be like, yo, I'm going to go there. No, but it doesn't matter, I'm just saying.
So what you
I'm
want is
just
Pokemon
saying.
Legendaries, the game where every Pokemon is a legendary.
All I
It
want
is
is
called
Pokemon.
Legends Arceus. So who
Yeah,
knows?
true. Yeah, I'm just saying, right? If it's like Ghost of Tsushima, right, and there's like a little yellow bird that's gonna lead me astray, I need to know that when I get there, it's worth my time, and a Pidgeot is not worth my time. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
You know, a Butterfree could be. They
Butterfree is not worth my time.
Dude, there was that whole.
I don't
Butterfree
care.
thing in
It's
the
not worth
anime.
my time.
You're not a real Pokemon
So
fan.
there was a good point raised by like someone on one of like the forums that I was reading, and he said one of the reasons that people might have had like an issue with like the Diamond and Pearl remakes is that it didn't, like the old remakes, they used to build off the last recent release game, so the engine was like from the previous game. With Diamond and Pearl, rather than building on Sword and Shield, they're building on like another game engine rather than building the remake in Sword and Shield's engine and improving on that.
Yeah, I can see. I can see that there's two ways of that, because I mean, I feel like because it's a remake of like an older game, they wanted to kind of have a style that was more in line with that back in the day, which I personally like. But I do see what you mean. Like, it's kind of, you know, if Pokemon's moved in that new direction, it would have also there's both ways. Like, it could have also been cool to have seen Diamond and Pearl in a Sword and Shield style. But yeah, it's possible.
I don't know. I like the top down. It's classic,
Same.
nostalgic. We know it
Classic.
works.
Yeah.
I guess everyone has their own like taste on it.
Yeah, I think they should be
suppose
like.
I haven't tried it.
There definitely should be like an offshoot of the games if they were going to go open world with Sword and Shield, because it was such a departure, and they should have kept the top down thing. There's something about the top down factor and the nostalgia and all of that stuff and that formula, right? It just works for people. And the same thing that I'm saying that I don't like about the repetition of Pokemon games is what people love about it. And when you depart from that, it kind of like messes with that flow as well, because people were expecting a certain game. I don't know. Did people really like Sword and Shield? What was the?
There were
Like,
some
yeah,
people that loved
Breath
it.
of the
There were a lot of
Wild.
people that didn't. I think
like anything.
I think like I said earlier,
Revolution.
there was a lot of outcry about like there being some like graphical bugs or issues, about there being like not all the Pokemon in the game, and about the amount of animations, unique animations for attacks was quite low. You know, there were a few really cool moves that you could do with certain Pokemon, but that was it. You know, a lot of the moves that you would do competitively or that you would just do for fun, they just didn't look good. They were just really out of date, like animation style. So if they can pull out all the stops with this remake and give like, you know, the majority of moves a unique, cool or somewhat cool level animation, I think that people will be like more immersed in the combat. But it'll be interesting to see how many different Pokedexes are in this as well. If they're just going to literally the same as it was in Diamond and Pearl, or if there's going to be any extra additions to it.
As an outside observer
be
from like the game community, at least, because I don't really play the games like that, it just seems like there's a big subsection of like their community that just wants to hate on the Pokemon games, like regardless. They just like aggressively just want to just be like, I remember them like moaning about a tree. Maybe it was a bigger issue than they were making it out like than what it looks like on the surface, and it was actually like a huge issue, and I just don't understand, and I'm going in with like ignorance, but it just feels like they were never going to be satisfied. There's just a bunch of people in the Pokemon community that say that they like Pokemon but don't actually like Pokemon, and it's just like, okay, cool, just
wanna
try to
complain.
enjoy the game. You say that you love the game, try to enjoy it for what it is. Obviously have your criticisms where you can, but some people are just super irrational about their criticisms about some stuff, so it's just like mad.
To jump back to Sword and
true.
Shield as well, just really quick, there were certain areas in the new zones where you would do the raids and stuff, the hives and things. There was like the more open area. I can't remember the exact. It has a name in the
Oh,
actual
the wild?
game.
Yeah,
the
the
wild
wild.
area. Yeah, there were certain parts in that where it would like really lag you. So there were actual performance issues in Sword and Shield, and like I said, I don't think that game was even. A lot of people weren't even happy with the graphics or like the ways the trees looked in the background. They just looked really bad, you know, like if you actually isolate them. So with Legends still being on Switch, you know, but with a bigger open world, more trees and actual Pokemon out there, I think if those people were upset about the tree, I worry about what potential performance problems there could be. You know?
Well, real talk though, right? Real talk, just quickly, just to kind of echo what 26 said about like sometimes people want to just hate on things.
Yeah.
Like, in whatever other Pokemon game have you ever been like, I really like the trees. Like nobody cares about the trees,
Yeah,
right?
They've
But you're
all
just-
been like a tiled pixel thing, right?
Like that's what I'm saying. I was thinking about it from like our perspective. It's like we complained about the textures in Rise, yeah, but we're still super satisfied with how like Rise looks on for a Switch game. The only reason that we might have like done that is because we've now seen what it looks like on other consoles, so we're like, oh, okay, cool. But like Pokemon games
know the
have only been
potential.
ever, yeah, we know the potential, but Pokemon games have only ever been like an upgrade over that. So going from like 2D to like 3D is a subjective upgrade, not necessarily an upgrade, because art style is just art style and it's opinion based.
Yeah.
Whatever you like, but somebody else might not like. So the tree texture in the background, this is what I'm saying. People just wanted to be like, oh, just wanted to hate.
I don't know though,
What's
because
interesting is
go, Bess.
real quick. Sorry, I've been trying to.
no, it's all good, Beth.
What's
a talk.
What's it called?
Best
I'm
doesn't
hopeful. I'm hopeful. Yeah, I don't want those comments of the thing like, "Damn, Best, you gotta be speaking, bro." Like, what's it called? The reason I'm hopeful is because obviously Genshin, I feel, has shown what can be done with very little, like resource-wise.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping somehow, obviously I know different companies, different engines, everything. I'm hoping somehow we can harness a little bit of that. You know, it's a similar art style, cell shaded, and just obviously, you know, I'm not saying I want the game to be like Genshin. Genshin's a very specific type of game. It's gacha. I don't want that. I'm just saying, from a open world and graphical perspective, Genshin is amazing. Like, I think they did like a great job with it, and I'm hoping, you know, Game Freak or just whoever Pokemon company are looking at that and being like, all right, clearly there's ways to make like a really, really nice looking game.
See, they had the
that
budget
feels
for that, though,
vibrant.
Vess. They were able to do that.
Yeah,
Pokemon
they
company.
ain't got the budget. You know, MiHoYo is like a completely, you know, triple A up there with the greats. You know, like BioWare, EA, up there with DICE. You know, Pokemon company, small indie.
What's the number one selling
Studio from
franchise
Japan, you
in the
know?
world? I don't know. What is that?
I don't know. Genshin Impact.
It must be
Genshin Impact. Yeah.
Kill the game.
I think
And money's well spent.
I think they just have to get the stylized, like the aesthetic of the style correct, because that was partly the issue with the tree, was that it was stylized but it still looked bad. Whereas like trees in Genshin, fidelity wise, aren't anything special, but they look nice because they just nailed the style of it. They nailed the aesthetic, and the whole
know what you
world
need to
looks
do?
nice.
Just let Grezzo make the next Pokemon game. I'm just saying, right? The guys that did Link's Awakening, the remaster, whew, give them a Pokemon game.
Yes.
Imagine.
You know what? As a Pokemon fan as well, like before that kind of reveal, you didn't even know what was coming up. You just thought you had one Pokemon game. Now you've got the Diamond Pearl remakes and like some hench
We got
like,
everything,
open world
yeah.
game. So you should be happy, like with
I'm
it.
happy,
You don't
yeah,
even know
yeah.
exactly what the open world game is going to be like fully. You've got a whole year until that game actually drops, so you can
Yeah.
enjoy something. And you've got like the MOBA game coming out as well, right? The Pokemon MOBA game. I don't know if you're
Yes,
interested in that.
Unite, I believe, right?
True.
Yeah, so you've got a bunch of Pokemon stuff to celebrate, and if you're collecting cards, you've got the 25th anniversary pack probably coming out.
And if you're collecting cards, you can't buy cards because they're sold out everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, it's true. It's
Right,
true.
that is true. That is true. So,
That is true. That is true.
me
There's
staring
such
at
as-
all my hidden fates like tins like stacked.
Oh dear. And on that note,
No,
thank
real
you
quick,
guys.
real quick.
Oh, go.
Look, I'm waiting for like in a year,
Yeah.
Paradise gonna be like, as a Diamond Pokemon Unite player, okay? Like, I gotta lay that on fair.
It's going to be the number one. If there are Pokemon Unite guides on the channel, it's going to be voiced by Paradise. He's going to be like, let me tell you the meta. Let me tell you the meta. Let me tell you how to use Blastoise to win the game.
Well, I do
But
have
anyway.
a full leveled comp team in Sword Shield, all shiny.
Oh,
so
there you go.
So what do you guys think about us talking about stuff that isn't Monster Hunter in discussions? Do you guys enjoy it? Obviously,
Yes.
there's a bunch of other stuff that we want to talk about when it comes to games. There's like the Zelda 35th anniversary. We could maybe like watch through all the Zelda trailers, do some like reactions to that. Like some of those old Zelda reveal trailers were really good. There's a new Battlefield coming out. We're always like interested in shooters. Like predominantly me and Paradise are involved in shooters, investors there as well, where Alex doesn't really like play shooters and stuff like that.
I can't shoot. I
you
can't shoot to save my life.
Can't shoot.
Go
But
shoot.
like us, we are broad in terms of like the games that we cover and like. So if you want to know us to discuss anything or talk about anything, or is there any subjects that you feel you're passionate about and also want some additional opinions on what other people want their opinions on it, then drop it in the comments down below. Yeah, I'm gonna look.
I want to ask for a cheeky few comments as well. To add to that, if you are excited for the Diamond Pearl remake, can you let me know why? And if you're not, can you let me know why? Because I've got my nostalgia goggles on. I thought the game was great. Sinnoh region is awesome. The trio of creation are just, it's like an epic story. But I'm seeing comments about, I'm seeing both ends of the spectrum, and I don't really know why. So if you could comment below why you either like or don't like the idea of this remake, then I can go through them and we can figure it out. You know?
Yeah, we could maybe even do a little poll or a little video afterwards on that if you guys comment that stuff.
Is the other one Giratina, by the way? Just a quick question. Was it Giratina in this game? The third one?
I don't know.
No, it's Arceus. It's Arceus is the third.
Oh, it's Arceus.
So like
okay,
the fact that it's like Diamond Pearl remake and Legends Arceus,
Yeah.
they're kind of linked in a way. So
Before we load out of this and end this video, I just want to say thank you for everybody that did cop the case. It's going to be see-through as I'm holding it up because it's green, but
green.
load of you have copped the case. I know it's super expensive for like the postage, and it's like the postage is like 3 times the cost, but there's literally nothing that we can do about it at the moment. Well, we're trying and we've been searching for like a method. It's not our choice. Like, why would we ever want you to pay like 2 or 3 times the case to get to your country? But the other choice is get it in 2 days or get it in 2 to 12 weeks via another option that doesn't look like it's going to work too well and may not even get the package to you. So we would rather have one guaranteed method to get it to you than a method with whatever's going on in the world right now, because there's all this crazy stuff. There's obviously with the UK is doing its madness, and there's just a madness in terms of like medical stuff going on. So
all the stuff is like blocking things. The is still impacting all of the like postal around the world. I think that's why it's gone so high, because we were equally as shocked when we saw that. And
Paradise. I was trying to be subtle without actually saying the words.
Yeah, my man said keywords.
I was trying not to.
Now the video is going to be demonetized.
Just beep it out.
We got it.
Beep it out.
Beep it
I'll cut it out.
We don't know, but beep it out anyway. We don't trust YouTube.
beep it out.
Sorry,
guys.
Alright, guys.
Well, on that note,
yeah.
thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the discussion. Again, always let us know what you guys think down below. Be sure to keep it locked because we've got plenty more stuff coming. And if you're hyped for Pokemon, we will, of course, be following this. So, stay tuned for plenty more.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you want to catch more from us at Arix Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269, Paradise Central, and Investmore streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below. And of course, you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.